Hello, I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals. My name is Susan Fontano, and it is Wednesday, September 30th, 2020. Pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12th, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law GLC 30AS 18 and the governor's March 15th, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people, limitations, pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place, as well as Mayor Curtatoni's declaration of emergency dated March 15, 2020. This meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals will be conducted via remote participation. We will have an audio recording available upon request as soon as possible after the meeting. Tonight's agenda, we have to approve the minutes for the September 16th, 2020 meeting. There was a minor correction under the general business. It had a notation there that Ms. Severino seconded the motion for the approval of the August 16th, 2020 and the September 2nd, 2020 meetings. Is Charlotte, do we know who seconded those for the record?
This is Charlotte speaking. It was Ms. Brockelman. I have corrected the version of the minutes to reflect that, and if you vote to approve them, that correction will be included in the final version.
Thank you so much. So at this time, do I understand that Danielle's not on board to make a comment? So somebody else can make a motion, please.
Madam Chair, I am here.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you, Danielle. Can we have a motion?
I just came on, so are we approving the minutes?
We're approving the minutes with a correction that Mrs. Severino was not at the meeting, so Mrs. Brockelman made the second on the motion under general business for the acceptance of August 16th, 2020 and September 2nd, 2020. So when you make the motion to accept the minutes of the September 16th, 2020, just you have to make that correction.
It says she is absent.
Yes, she is. Yeah, but then under general business, it says that she seconded the motion you made.
Oh, got it.
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So can we have a motion, please? Joanne,
Yes.
I made a copy. Would you get it for me?
I make a motion to approve the September 16th, 2020 minutes as amended to reflect that Elaine Severino was not at the meeting.
And that Ann Brockelman made the second, second the motion.
Yes, and that Ann Brockelman seconded the motion.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye. Elaine Severino. Thank you. Elaine Severino.
Aye.
Josh Safdie. Ann Brockelman.
Aye.
And Danielle Evans.
Aye.
And Susan Fontano, aye. It's unanimous. The minutes of September 16, 2020 have been approved. Thank you. Next item is we're going to go to 15 McGrath Highway. Is that correct, Charlotte?
Madam Chair, that is correct. Melissa, who from 15 McGrath should I be unmuting?
Mike Gerhart.
Michael Gerhart, you are unmuted.
Thank you. Madam Chairwoman, can I proceed?
Yes, please.
So thank you very much. My name is Michael Gerhart. I'm with Leggett McCall Properties, representing the proponent of the proposed project at 15 McGrath Highway. We made a filing for seeking several variances. We were made aware today that our neighbor to the east for one reason or another, did not receive notice. So they were unaware of this hearing and hadn't had proper time to review the materials that were submitted. So in an attempt to be neighborly and allow them to have the time to review what was submitted to this board, we'd like to ask for a continuance. And we'd like to ask for that to occur. I think that the first meeting in November is November 4th. So we'd like to skip a meeting if possible and jump to the November 4th meeting just because of some scheduling conflicts. So that's our request for this evening.
Okay. Is that November 4th date correct, Charlotte?
Madam Chair, that is correct. That is
All right.
we have
Deb-
October 14th and then November 4th.
Okay, great, thank you. I had in front of me, just for the record, I just don't know where I put them. Oh, here they are. Just for the record tonight, while we're mentioning 15 McGrath, we did receive some correspondence, and I would just like to mention it for now. One of them was from an Allison Schultz. We got that. And also from a Bill Valenta. So I'd like the applicant to know we got those on our emails and we have them. And Melissa, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Good, thank you.
So this is your case and you're working on this. So this is okay with you, yes?
Absolutely.
Okay. Madam Clerk, could we have a motion, please, for I'm sorry, Elaine, I'm sorry.
I just wanted to, I looked at the things that were online, the staff report and the drawings. I just wondered if there could be any additional drawings. I saw sketches and floors of the building in place, of what it would look like finished.
Elaine, if I may answer your question, this is Melissa Woods. I think we were steering the applicant to show the relief that they're seeking and not a final design, because this project will actually go through a two-phase project. The ZBA will be viewing the variances and evaluating those, and then the project, if the variances are approved, will seek a site plan approval through the planning board. And also go through neighborhood meeting and the design review process. So I'm happy to discuss further views that help you understand the variance that's being requested. But I think what you're used to seeing is under the planning board's purview now with the new zoning code.
Right. Okay. So if everybody's all set, can we ask the clerk for a motion? Everybody okay? Good. Madam Clerk, we have a motion, please, for the continuance.
In the matter of 15 McGrath Highway, case DRA 2020-0334, make a motion that we continue this to the November 4th, 2020 meeting.
May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Elaine Severino. All in favor, say aye. Josh Safdie?
Aye.
Ann Brockelman?
Aye.
Elaine Severino?
Aye.
Danielle Evans?
Aye.
And Susan Fontano, aye. Let the record show it's the unanimous to continue till 11/4 for 15 McGrath Highway. Thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Next item, we're going to take out of order. We're going to go into executive session, and then we're going to come back and talk about 34 North Street. So I guess we have to jump over.
Madam
Yes,
Chair, that is correct. David Shapiro and Sarah Lewis are both in the executive session meeting room to join you.
okay, let me see. So we have to check off of this and get out of this and go into the new window, right?
Yes, you will all have to log off of this instance of GoToWebinar and log into the executive session instance of GoToWebinar so that we can maintain the privacy.
Okay.
But I just
So-
found my way in.
I know it. And you look beautiful. Let's see. Let me see. Get out of this, right?
Don't we have to vote to enter in?
You are correct. You do need to vote to enter in.
We lose.
We have lost them. I will go join that room and, oh, we just lost Chair
Because we-
Fontana.
Yeah, because we need to make a
a
motion
motion
to regular
Yes, I
session
will.
and session and the reason for it.
For so many reasons, executive sessions are harder in remote meeting format than in person.
Yes, definitely. Do we have the language?
It's here to discuss 453 Somerville Ave litigation strategy. I can put the
Fine.
agenda up on screen if that would be helpful.
Yeah, I lost my agenda all of a sudden.
Yes,
Like I had everything open that I needed and then I had to reboot.
Technology is, sometimes it doesn't want to work with us.
Hello?
Hello.
Help me.
Oh, there you are, Danielle.
Danielle's here. Oops. What's this?
I am pulling, this is Charlotte speaking, I'm pulling the agenda for this evening's meeting up on screen for the language
Yeah.
for the executive session.
Oh, okay. Now, wait a minute. I'm not quite sure if I'm in the right window.
You
I'm
are in the
original
correct window.
first. Oh, okay, all right. And what do we have to do? The vote to close and then go into the other one, right?
Yes, vote to go into executive session to discuss 453 Somerville Ave litigation strategy. A majority vote, so just the four of you will be sufficient. And then we can rejoin the other room and then do the executive session.
And where are you saying the languages? I don't see it.
It is up on the screen. Danielle, if you
Yeah.
can see it, that should be sufficient for making the motion.
So is Elaine here? Elaine's
Elaine,
missing.
Elaine is not here, but 4 of the 5 members are sufficient to vote to go into executive session.
Okay. And you can't see me though, right?
We cannot see you, but that is okay.
Okay. So we'd like to continue tonight's meeting and move on to executives under other business. We're going to take out of order the executive session to discuss 453 Somerville Ave litigation strategy. At this time, I'd like the clerk to make a motion that we leave and go into executive session.
Do you want me to make the motion?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
I make a motion that we suspend the public meeting portion and enter into executive session for the purposes of discussing litigation strategy with regards to 453 Somerville Avenue.
May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ann Brockelman. We're going to break away, go into another webinar and meet with Mr. Shapiro and continue there. Sign off, please.
Good to know.
Hello?
We have to vote?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. So we got a second. All right. All in, Danielle Evans,
Aye.
Ann Brockelman,
Aye.
Josh Safety,
Aye.
and I don't see Elaine Severino. We've lost her for the record. And Susan Fontano, aye. The record shows 4 of the 5. We have a quorum. We'll leave this and go into executive session. Thank you. Hello. Here I am. Gee, I'm getting good at this. These flying fingers. Watch out. Look at Ann's face. She's so serious. Hi, Elaine. Where's Elaine?
Madam Chair, we are just waiting for Elaine to come on.
Josh.
If she's not on in a minute or two, I will call her to provide any technical assistance I can, and then we're ready to go.
Okay. We'll wait a second for her. Josh, that's a different backdrop for you tonight.
Yeah, I mean, same one as last couple. This is,
Oh, yeah?
get used to this. Get used to this one. This is
I
my
don't want to
basement.
leave my, I got to stick with my eggplants. If not, Danielle will get bummed out. I should have worn my purple top tonight. I didn't even think of that. All right, next meeting, I'm going to wear purple. That's it.
Either that or
Years
change the
ago.
painting.
That's right. I could do that too. All right. Years ago when I was wild and crazy, remember I was coloring their hair all the hues, not so much like the crazy colors now. I did my hair all purple and I went out and bought all purple clothes. I was wearing purple tops, purple dresses. Just wild, I guess. It was fun. I like when I met people didn't know they'd be staring at me and they'd be saying, is her hair? I knew they were saying, is her hair purple? Or is it the glow of the shirt or something? Charlotte,
Yes, Madam Chair.
no luck with Elaine?
Not as of yet.
Do you want
I
to ring her?
just tried calling her, but she didn't pick up. She might be trying to figure it out right now. I will try calling again in just a minute if I
Okay.
don't see her come online.
I can't find my phone. Huh. Okay. Hey, where are all the kids tonight? I don't hear anybody in the background. And look at Ann's face, like, what?
No, that's why I dial in, because or else there's too much background
Yeah,
noise.
that's why Josh
or
has his
could be.
headphones on. Danielle, your
Yeah.
crew usually comes in and says hi. Where are they?
They're downstairs eating. Door's locked.
Oh, Mom, that's not fair. You guys have kids. I have sisters. I got my sister out in the kitchen. She's my geek, so I won't let her go far. She does everything for me. She's great.
Madam Chair,
I
this
heard
is
you make a.
Elaine just joined.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Hi, Elaine.
Hi, I guess I don't know how to get the picture on, but
Do you have your
Share web-
camera turned on? It says
Okay,
up in
I
that little
think
corner. Yeah,
I think
that's
I
it.
found it. Oh,
There you
there I
are.
go.
There you are.
Oh,
I would
this is
just like to
exhausting.
I'd just like to take a minute before we go any further tonight. I've been remiss that, Elaine, all of us here at the board give you our deepest sympathies on the loss of Ed. And we know you were
Thank you.
very devoted and dedicated to him and you made his life special. So welcome back and
Thank
be
you.
strong. We all love you.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Everybody wanted to say, I don't know if anybody wants to say anything. I'm sure you've all been doing your thing. So
I've
we can,
heard from some of you, yes. Thank you so much.
okay, Elaine, thank you. So with, keep going here. We're gonna go to our next case. It's 34 North Street, AKA Clarendon Hill. Are we ready to go forward? Hello.
Madam Chair, this is Charlotte
Yes.
speaking. I have a
Yes.
presentation, if you would like it, in about the updated minutes. Corey, Mann, and the rest of the application team is also here if you have any questions. And the public hearing portion of the case is still technically open.
All right, so let me ask everybody their help on this one. I have no problem keeping the public session open as Charlotte highlights some of these final conditions. And then after that, I'll do a quick, does anybody I know these have been posted. So we're gonna go right to Charlotte, then we'll go to the public, then we'll close that portion, then we'll do our thing. Okay with everybody? Do I hear thumbs up or anything? Good. Okay, Miss Charlotte, you're on.
Okay, great. So I just have a brief presentation. I wanted to highlight some of the changes that have been made since the last draft set of conditions that you saw. Specifically, I wanted to briefly touch on the placeholder conditions that we had in place on the last round. So the 6 placeholder conditions that we had were the regulatory agreement for the affordable units, constructing the entirety of the project, the phasing of the stormwater management, the off-site traffic mitigation, and the civic space and public thoroughfare maintenance plans. I'm also going to go over some other notable changes, and then I have a few revisions to the findings that I wanted to share with you. They are mostly edits, small edits, but there is a small addition. So this will be brief. So the regulatory agreement, what was the placeholder condition, has been replaced by conditions number 8 and 9 in the last draft. And those basically require that prior to the first building permit and to the city releasing the $10 million that the city council has committed, the applicant and the city need to enter into regulatory agreements that control the affordable units. The next placeholder condition was basically the entirety of the project needs to be constructed as proposed, and that has been addressed by conditions number 27 and 30, both of which 27 requires that prior to the first certificate of occupancy for phase 1, a bond for some of the work is submitted, and then 30 is that mirror condition, but for phase 2. And the public works for each phase are defined in that condition so that it's as clear as we can be. These are the other 4. The civic space maintenance agreement is in number 109, and it's been used in other cases as well, basically requiring the city and the developer will nail down all of the details in a separate agreement rather than trying to hammer those things out in this decision. Number 115 and 128, which deals with thoroughfares 1 and 2, which are the 2 thoroughfares that are anticipated to become public. The condition basically requires that while those 2 thoroughfares are privately owned, they are privately maintained, and then upon acceptance by the city council as public thoroughfares, they will be maintained by the city as other public thoroughfares are. Condition number 22, we went slightly broader than just stormwater. The engineering department has a site construction permit, which includes stormwater, inflow and infiltration requirements, I think particulate matter in the water requirements. It's a number of standard things that engineering is concerned about, and to all of those permit conditions or rule issues must be satisfied for each phase. And then the last one is off-site traffic mitigation. So number 25 talks about what that off-site required off-site traffic mitigation is. And then condition number 28 requires that it be completed as part of phase one, which since phase one has the vast majority of the new units. The other notable changes that I wanted to mention are condition number 3, which we added some additional language about kind of defining the applicant and who's responsible. And then condition number 13, which is a much more detailed description of the phasing of the project. So the next thing is that I want to go over the revision to the findings. These are revisions to the findings that were shown in the September 16th staff report, and I will pull those up on screen right now. Can everyone see that?
Yes.
Okay, so all of the revisions are highlighted in red. In the staff report, we did not have a specific finding about being eligible to apply for a comprehensive permit. We discussed it, but it was not formatted as a finding, so I added that. I have made some minor, everything that is red is an addition. Everything that is purple and crossed through is a removal. So it's just minor rewording for consistent with local needs. And then for the other findings, the only 2 conditions that are touched are condition number 6, in which I add just a little more detail. The most substantive change is this sentence, which I can give you all a chance to read. And then condition number 8, there were 2 typos that I fixed, but wanted to, for the sake of thoroughness, note. So I'll move back to condition 6, since that is the only really substantive change. And that is the entirety of my presentation.
Okay. I've been watching everybody shaking their heads. So right off before we start talking, I'd like to say hello to Corey and her team. And ask Charlotte if there's anybody from the public that have not expressed what they wanted to say or do have an issue with anything they've heard this evening or seen online for the conditions.
Madam Chair, if I may, I request that anyone who is a member of the public and who wishes to speak on this project use the little button that shows a raised hand in your control panel. Raising your hand will notify me that you want to speak, and I'll be able to unmute you so that you can do so. I'll give you a minute to do so and then give it back to the board. Madam Chair, I don't see anyone raising their hands at this point in time.
Okay, so at this time, I would like to close the the public portion of the Clarendon Hill North Street session and open it to the board. And I'm just going to ask you folks, if you have any comments at all, anything you're unhappy with or happy with, you can just raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you. So this is in the matter of 40B 2020-001 34 North Street, Clarendon Hill. Anybody? Ann Brockelman, are you all set? Yes. Danielle Evans? Any comments? Are you okay with it?
What is the final staff report that we're working on? The one on the website dated September 11th, was there one?
That is the final one. Yeah, we have not.
Just when we're motions and.
So I have some possible motions. So after you close the public hearing, I suggest that you, if you are looking to approve this project, that you make a motion to adopt the findings of the September 11th staff report as amended at this meeting. It is minor amendments, but just for the sake of clarity and completeness, and then make a motion to approve the comprehensive permit and the September 10th, 2020 waivers list, subject to the conditions dated September 28th, 2020. And obviously, those motions can be amended as the board sees fit, but.
Okay, so we already closed the public hearing. We're going, before we go to make the motion, Danielle, you're all set with what she answered your question, right, on the staff report? And how you're gonna make your motion?
I had a couple questions about the conditions related to affordability. There was, let's see here, some language saying that if the market rates, if any of them converted to ownership units, to condominiums, that the affordable units would always remain rental. Is there a reason for that? Is there like a financing reason? Because I wouldn't want there to be a situation where all the market rate are condo ownership and then all the affordables are rentals. Because I feel like that would kind of, there'd be like a stark difference.
I was muted, sorry. So Corey or Greg are both unmuted if they also want to speak on this, but this was a discussion, or these two conditions were discussed by Kelly Donato and other members of the city's legal staff and housing staff. It was discussed with the applicant. I believe Greg or Corey may have more insight as to what other kind of more context, if they would like to speak.
Yeah, I just would be interested in knowing kind of like the reasoning behind that.
Good evening. Greg, is that you? If you want to handle it, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Corey. Greg Bielecki from Redgate from the development team. Through you, Madam Chair, it was part of the discussion with the Somerville Housing Authority and the City Council in reaching our funding agreement that it was acknowledged and agreed that we, first of all, neither POA nor Redgate is purchasing the property. We are only ground leasing the property from the Somerville Housing Authority. And it was further agreed that our ground lease prohibits us from creating condominiums on the site. So these will always be and only be rental housing.
I'm just confused about the condition says, even if any other portion of the project is ever converted to condos. But you're saying that that's not a possibility at all? I'm just confused by the language, if that's true.
Yes, I can understand. The agreement not to convert to condominiums is contained in our City Council approval and will be in our ground lease. It would be fine with me. Corey, tell me if you agree, but if that sentence just said these units will remain rental units in perpetuity, period, that would be fine with me.
Agreed. And just in case no one could hear me, Madam Chair, this is Corey Meehan from Preservation of Affordable Housing. I'm fine with that strike. I don't understand the inclusion of the clause either.
So
But I didn't have an issue with it. So it's fine for it to be there or not be there.
All right. What do you want to see, Danielle?
I mean, I think we should reword it so that it's that all of the units shall remain rental units in perpetuity. I don't
Right.
want there to be a situation where there starts to be like even more of like a class divide where you have market rate ownership and affordable unit, renters, and it just, not being this kind of development where everyone is kind of on equal footing.
Right. Charlotte, can you take care of that?
Madam Chair, I can certainly take care of that.
Can you give us an idea of the wording in case we vote here tonight? We don't want to have to come back. You need a minute to think about that?
Yes, if you give me a minute, I can pull up the Word document version of this and revise the wording. Give me one moment.
Go ahead, take your time. Might as well get it done right. There's a lot invested in this.
Madam Chair, perhaps the
Yes.
language, all units shall remain rental units in perpetuity, just as short and concise as possible. If you vote on this tonight, I will confirm with our housing and legal team that there are no unexpected impacts from this. But I don't anticipate any, but I'm also not part of our legal staff.
Mhm. I see the correction. Is that okay with Danielle and Corey? Greg?
Yes, the correction is fine with the development team.
Okay. Danielle, you okay with it now? You feel better about that, the wording?
Yes, I mean, I don't have issues with anything turning into condos, but I would want it to be, across the board. But if
Right,
that's
everybody's
not
on the same
a
page.
possibility,
Yeah.
yeah.
Good, all right. So we're all set with that, everybody? Joshua, okay, and Elaine with that, and Ian? Yes, 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 okay, great. Ann, you're shaking, yep. All right, so that's Danielle. Josh, you have anything that you want to specifically address?
No, Madam Chair, everything that I was interested in particular,
Was covered.
I'm satisfied with the way it's been covered.
Thank you. Elaine, I know
I'm
you've
all
been
set.
doing your homework.
And I had discussed with Charlotte one of the issues that I had some concern about, so I'm all set.
Beautiful. And you're all set, yes? I'm sorry, I asked you first, didn't I? Beautiful.
Yes,
And
all
I'm
set.
all set too, and I thank everybody for all your input, the planning team, staff, the zoning, and Corey and your team. There's the old joke, we've come a long way, and I think this is going to be wonderful for a lot of people. And I thank you for putting up with us and coming back and forth and back and forth. We really appreciate it, but we like to get it right. Thank you.
Madam
And
Chair,
Elaine-
if I may, this is
Yeah.
Corey.
Hi,
We
Corey.
just want to thank you all for your thoughtful attention and review of this project. And thank you to the city staff who has been working on this for quite some time.
They've been great.
We're
They
looking
really
forward
have.
to moving forward.
Great, thank you. So could we, yes. So,
One more
yes,
question.
Yeah,
I wasn't done. Condition number 10.
yeah,
So it
Got
says
it.
the city housing division may at their discretion determine that some or all of the units in the project be eligible for inclusion in this Commonwealth subsidized housing inventory. Why would they not go on the SHI? As a 40B, I believe every single unit should count on the SHI. Why would we not want that?
Madam Chair, if I may, I
Yes.
believe this is just extra protection. The ZBA cannot, in one of their conditions, require any other portion of the city to do anything. And so while Chapter 40B may put all units on the subsidized housing inventory anyway, adding this condition of just reaffirming that ability, I think was born out of a desire to just cross our I's, dot our T's, and make sure that anyone who is not familiar with with Chapter 40B knows that all 591 units can end up on the subsidized housing inventory.
So that's surprising to know that the zoning board can't require that units be on this HI.
This is Charlotte speaking. I'm not sure if I'm not familiar with how units end up or do not end up on the subsidized housing inventory enough to speak to that. All I know is that the housing division has reviewed this condition and is comfortable with it and happy to see it there. And that the zoning board cannot require other city departments to do anything. So my assumption would be that it is the housing division that determines which units are on the subsidized housing inventory. And so by stating this, it reaffirms the housing division's ability to do that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Charlotte, for that. All righty, so there's nothing more to be said, then we'll ask the clerk to make the motion. Can you go back to that window you gave us, Charlotte? Thank you. So Danielle, you're going to make your motion number 2 first, the motion for the findings of September 11th. We'll vote on that and then we'll go to the 3rd.
Yeah, I'm trying to call up my.
All right, take your time. Yep.
Charlotte, should I go through the findings or should I just make a blanket motion to adopt them?
I think that is up to the board's discretion. If you would like to go through them adopt each finding one by one, you certainly can, but I think that may be unnecessary and that you can instead adopt the findings overall.
Okay, I'll do that. In the matter of case 40B, number 2020-001, Clarendon Hill, I make a motion that we adopt the findings, September 11th, 2020 staff report as amended at this meeting.
May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Elaine Severino. Ian Brockelman. Aye.
Aye.
Danielle Evans.
Aye.
Josh Safdie.
Aye.
Elaine Severino.
Aye.
And Susan Fontano, aye. Let the record show that the minutes and the findings of the September 11, 2020 staff report have been adopted unanimously. Next, please, Madam Clerk.
I make a motion to approve the comprehensive permit and the September 10th, 2020 waivers list.
Yeah.
Which there are 44, correct?
Madam Chair, that is correct.
Thank you.
And subject to the conditions list dated September 28th, 2020, which there are
150.
150, and making the change to condition number, where is it? Can you bring up
Condition
that
number
language?
8.
Yeah.
The language is replacing the sentence, the 216 public housing units shall remain rental units in perpetuity, even if any other portion of the project is ever converted to condominiums, and replacing that sentence with all units shall remain rental units in perpetuity.
Great, thank you so much.
Thank you. And may I have a second, please?
Second.
Seconded by Elaine Severino. So in the matter of 40B 2020-001, 34 North Street, Clarendon Hill, all in favor, please say aye. Ann Brockelman,
Aye.
Danielle Evans,
Aye.
Josh Safdie.
Aye.
Elaine Severino,
Aye.
and Susan Fontano, aye. Let the record show that in the matter of 34 North Street, Clarendon Hill, it was unanimous 5-0. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you very
Excellent.
much.
Thank you very much.
Now, for the board, thank you, Charlotte, for all your hard work. You did a wonderful job, and you were here to answer our questions. We appreciate that.
Of course, thank all board members. Oh, I don't know if you were yaying or saying goodbye, but if there is nothing else that the board has on the agenda tonight, may I suggest that we make a motion to adjourn?
You most certainly may. May I have a motion?
I make a motion to adjourn.
Seconded
Second.
by Elaine Severino. All in favor? Ann Brockelman,
Aye.
Danielle Evans,
Aye.
Josh Safdie,
This is
and
American Sign
Elaine
Language for applause.
Severino. What is that?
I'm a-
What is
Just in
that?
case you're wondering.
Oh,
This is
geez.
applause in ASL.
Oh, all right, I gotta learn that. Elaine
We're
Severino
big.
Aye.
Done.
and Susan Fontano, aye. We're all adjourned. I like this. Good night, you guys. Thank you so much. Good job.
Good night.
Peace.
Good night.
Thank you.